Hey yo guys, Fat Lizard Boy here, back at it again with the what ifs. I'm gonna be a little bit quiet because it's late at night during this one, and I'm not sleeping in my room. Anyways, so as you can probably tell by the thumbnail, sorry about that. As you can tell by the thumbnail, this is going to be a Joker what if. I'm not feeling the hottest right now, and I don't want to go into it, so let's just get into it. We're gonna start when Deku is born. His name's not Deku. He doesn't have a name. Well, he does, but not one that we know of. His home life was pretty rough. His parents always argued, though it never got physical, and it usually ended rather quickly compared to whenever they started. But one day, it didn't end rather quickly. Fighting went on all day, and he just decided he had enough. So he went on a walk, and while he was on this walk, he went down the street he didn't normally walk, and he checked the time, saw it was getting late, and he realized that he had to start heading back home. So he's about to go back up the sidewalk, go up the streets or whatever, back to his house. He realized it'll just be quicker if I just take this alleyway. I know, very smart. So he goes down the alleyway and somebody tries to mug him. And it's a gun. Right now, first Deku's terrified because he has a gun pointing at him. But he notices something. It's an airsoft gun. And so, Deku kicks the guy in the nuts. The guy falls over and he throws him to the side. He kicks him a couple times. He looks at him and he's about to stomp on his face. He then starts to lower his foot. He brings it back up, trying to talk himself into stomping this guy's head in. But he just can't bring himself to do it. And he continues on his walk. He gets back home when his parents have stopped fighting. And he decides to go up to his bedroom. And whenever he does, he goes to sleep. And in his sleep, he dreams about the man. About stomping his head in over and over and over again. Feeling the sadistic satisfaction of his foot hitting his cranium, the side of his temple, over and over again, crushing the bone beneath. He then wakes up the next day. Forgets the dream, he forgets he even had the dream. He goes on with his life. We're gonna skip to whenever he's 18. He was never really good at anything in school. He didn't really have a future. Well, a good one. So he figured, why not join the army? So that's what he does. He joins the army. He gets sent off to we're just gonna say a war overseas. Not a war, but a scuffle, whatever the fuck you want to call it, overseas. While he's there, he's in him and his squad are in a truck. And then they hit an IED. The IED blows up the truck, killing his squad leader. And when Deku gets thrown at the back with a couple other of his men. Not his men, but people in his platoon. He hits his head on the ground. When he wakes up, about 30 seconds later, there's gunfire everywhere. They're being shot upon. And he's in the ditch. He wakes up to feel a burning pain in his left eye. The worst pain he's ever felt. So he shuts it. He sits up. And they're being ambushed. Obviously. Oh, fuck. Anyways, they're being ambushed, obviously. if you couldn't tell. Anyways, he instinctually grabs his rifle and starts to fire. Once that scuffle's over, he gets sent back to a medic tent. Find out that part of his platoon leader's skull was lodged in his eye. But they were able to remove it, and he was able to use the eye again, though with impaired vision. Not like impaired, but it's not as good as his right eye. Everything would just be seen as a lot brighter, and it would basically make his left eye more sensitive to light, and he couldn't see as far. And a little bit of his face was messed up. He had a cut going along his right cheek. It was a gnarly one. But they were able to fix it up. And he was sent home shortly after due to his vision. Even though it wasn't a lot, they still figured it to be a disability. So he was sent home. We're gonna say he's now 28. 6 years in the army. Yeah. And that's whenever he gets sent home the next day, he gets a message. It's from the recruiter. And he gets told to come back in because they have a meeting for him. Not a meeting, but someone very important would like to speak to him. And they tell him he doesn't have to come. Wait, no, he does have to come. Because if I'm thinking correctly, isn't it like whenever you enlist, you gotta serve for like a set amount of years, but then after that, for a few years, you're like put into the reserves category or whatever? I don't know. I heard that from a friend. He could be fucking bullshitting. I don't know. Anyways, he's forced to come in, so he comes in. And he's put in a room, and someone on the other side. And there's someone walks in shortly after. Walks to the other side of the room. This man is in a suit and sits down, and he has a proposal for Deku. Special Forces. And you might be thinking, well, why Special Forces? I haven't made up. I don't know why. I don't know how I would make that into the story. So that's why. Anyways, he was picked for a Special Forces group. I don't know which one, because I don't know anything about the Special Forces, other than like the SAS, the fucking Navy SEALs, Delta Force, Green Berets. Yeah, that's the only shit I know, and I don't know anything about those individually. So, we're just gonna say a Special Forces branch. They tell him that he would have great and excellent pay for this. And he needs more money still. So he decides to go back in. He goes through rigorous training, as you would imagine. And then he is tasked with taking out a leader of a not prominent, but a small terrorist organization, in order to stop them from becoming a big threat. So, him and his squad goes in, doing everything that they know. You know what would happen. Basically, they clear the building. But then whenever they go in to the final room, bam, big explosion goes off, killing all of his squad mates, because he was in the back. And all he gets is a piece of shrapnel in his left shoulder. But unfortunately, his gun was blown out of his grasp. His rifle, I mean. So when he looks up, the door. It's a room, and there's another door on the other side. I don't know why I don't explain these things. I should explain these things. Damn it. Anyways, the door on the other side of the room gets kicked open, and he crawls and stands back up and stumbles out the other side. Both of his ears are ringing, and he pulls out his sidearm, and he hears footsteps running. They come out the other side. They come out the door he just left, and they're about to run down the stairs. 6 guards, I'm going to say, are running down the stairs after him, even though he didn't go downstairs. So he then looks around the corner to see 2 other guards and the man he was sent to kill. He pushes his head back before they could see him. He leans around and kills the 2 guards and the guy he was sent to kill. His evac was going to be on the roof because they were expected to clear the whole building. Like I said, it wasn't a big terrorist organization. It was just a small group of people. Anyways, he rushes up. Well, I should say he hobbles up to the roof. And the helicopter comes. And he hops on the helicopter, but the other 6 come up to the roof, try shooting at him. He takes a bullet to the left leg and to the chest. He gets flown out of there and gets sent to a medical tent. They patch him up, and they say that he's going to recover just fine. But then they decide that his talents are kind of wasted here. He seems to be exceptional at killing people. So they send him into a higher special forces group. But this one, his name is going to be expunged from all records in order to declare him, because it is an elite group that does the kind of shit that nobody's supposed to know about. So he agrees. And he gets sent overseas again. I'm not going to talk about this one because, like I said, it's meant to be top secret, and not even I know what goes on in my own universes. But something happens, and he's considered a KIA. Body never recovered. And that's where we kick it off. This was just an introduction to get everything set up for the next video. And it is going to be based somewhat around Heath Ledger's Joker. So I'm going to be trying to pull off the voice. If you guys think I should try that, let me know. Or if you guys... And I'm going to do it in the next video. But if you think it's cringy or whatever, please comment so I don't make myself look like a fucking moron. Thanks for this. I'm sorry it's short, but it's fucking 12 a.m. and I'm tired. Good night.